God's advice today. Have you ever felt that God is trying to speak to you, yet in the busyness of life, His signs go unnoticed? This message invites you to pause, reflect, and open your heart. Perhaps this is exactly what you needed to hear today. Watch until the end with openness, and if these words touch you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to receive more messages like this. Don't forget to check the pinned comment for a 1-minute prayer and a recommended message to help strengthen your faith even more. God said, "My child, listen to me with all the strength of your spirit, for this is the moment when heaven opens paths that were prepared exclusively for you. Behold, I make all things new." Revelation 21 verse 5. And this word is not a distant metaphor but a living reality already manifesting in your story. I have brought you this far because the time of harvest has arrived, and I know how long you waited, how much you endured, and how firmly you stood even when you thought you couldn't go on. Are you feeling ready for a deep transformation in your life and in the lives of those you love? Sometimes all it takes is one small step of faith to open the doors of abundance, peace, and the blessings that God has already prepared for you. A simple 1-minute prayer can become the beginning of a spiritual journey that transforms you from the inside out, and reflects beautifully on everything around you. If you desire to attract more light, balance, and prosperity, both spiritual and material, click on the first comment. There you will find a simple practice, guided with love, that can help you connect more deeply with the divine presence in your life. You feel ready for a profound change in your life and in the lives of those you love, but sometimes all it takes is one small step of faith to open the doors of abundance, peace, and blessings that I have already prepared for you. A simple 1-minute prayer can begin a spiritual journey that transforms the inner world and reflects on the outside. I saw your days of weakness. I saw when exhaustion felt heavier than your strength. I saw when your tears fell as if they were your final cry for help. Yet not one tear fell without purpose. Each one watered the soil where I am bringing forth your new season. Nothing you lived was wasted. My spirit breathed over everything that seemed dead and began to move the seeds hidden beneath the ground. I was with you in the days of silence when you thought I wasn't watching, and I am with you now as the time of revelation unfolds before you. Stand firm, for what I have prepared for you exceeds anything you imagined. Comment, I trust in God's love, He is my refuge. My beloved child, you wonder why the battles were so intense and why doors closed right when you were ready to cross them, but I tell you, nothing closed to punish you, everything closed to protect you from paths that would drain your strength and dim the light I placed within you. Many times, before you even noticed the danger, I rescued you from environments that would have weakened your spirit. Even when you thought you were walking alone, I was sustaining you silently. Every apparent delay was my way of preparing the ground, removing what could not accompany your next season, and preserving what would support your victory. You walked through fire, uncertainty, long nights, and heavy days, and yet you emerged with a strength you didn't know you had, because it was forged by my hand. Now your heart is finally ready to receive what it could not bear before. Hear me deeply. This is the season when what was stolen will be returned, not the same, but multiplied. This is the season when your true identity will be restored. This is the season when my Spirit will give you discernment to see what once went unnoticed, guiding you with wisdom so you do not lose yourself among the opportunities ahead. Comment, I know God protected me from things I never saw. Remember what is written, those who sow in tears will reap with joy. Psalm 126 verse 5. This word is not poetry, it is a divine decree, and today I raise it over your life with authority. Everything you planted in secret, in the moments no one saw, will be honored in the light. I saw your good intentions, your silent efforts, your kindness that was ignored or misunderstood. I saw when you gave your last bit and were criticized. I saw when you chose to forgive without receiving an apology, when you chose peace over proving a point, when you avoided battles that would have harmed your spirit. Every humble act the world ignored will now be multiplied by my hands. You are stepping into a land where divine justice speaks louder than human injustice, where secret planting becomes abundant harvest, where what seemed lost rises as a living promise. This is the time when your tears turn into joy and your silent sowing becomes honor. My child, there are things you have carried inside for years, old wounds, painful memories, frustrated expectations, and now I am touching them with healing hands. Do not fear this touch. Many taught you to hide your pain, to smile while your soul was bleeding, to be strong when everything inside you begged for rest, but I do not want you merely surviving. I want you living, breathing, blossoming. There are pains you never spoke aloud, yet I know them all. I know when you stayed silent to avoid hurting someone, when you swallowed words to avoid conflict, when you kept moving even without strength. Today I tell you, you will no longer carry this weight alone. The burden on your shoulders will be removed completely. My spirit will surround you like living water, reaching the deepest cracks, restoring what was broken, and returning the lightness that was taken from you. Did you know that there is an effective method to attract greater financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep-seated beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It had a profound impact on my life, and we would like to invite you to explore this special practice. When we trust that God wants to act in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you would like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing content that inspires and transforms, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment, so you can discover how this technique can also help you on your journey. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We deeply appreciate your trust and support. My beloved child, listen closely to this promise, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. My plan was never to see you wandering, wounded, discouraged, or afraid of what comes next. My plan has always been to lead you into the purpose for which you were created. There are gifts within you that have not awakened yet, talents that were suffocated by pain, dreams you hid away because you believed you no longer had the time, strength, or ability to pursue them. But I, the Lord, am opening that drawer now. I am breathing life into what has been dormant and reigniting what life attempted to extinguish. Nothing is lost. Nothing is delayed. Nothing I prepared for you expires or diminishes. There is a specific anointing upon your life that no one can steal, and because of that, the battles have been intense. You have been marked by heaven, chosen with intention, set apart with purpose, and shielded by my hand. My plans for you remain unshaken, greater than your fears, deeper than your doubts, and stronger than every circumstance that tried to discourage you. Child, you walked through nights that felt endless, seasons where simply breathing required strength you didn't think you had. There were days when you opened your eyes and silently asked for the courage to keep going, moments when you wondered whether your life still had meaning. But now I declare, that cycle is over. The heavy cloud that lingered over your mind is lifting. The weight pressing on your chest dissolves. The anxiety that consumed you will be replaced by a peace that does not come from the world but flows directly from my throne. I return to you the ability to dream without fear, to walk without hesitation, to believe without doubting. The storm you faced was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal who you are when the winds rise against you. And you are stronger than you think, more resilient than you realize, more anointed than you understand. From this day forward, you will no longer walk as someone afraid, but as someone who knows he has a Father who never fails. My child, hold this truth deeply within your spirit. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Psalm 23 verse 1. This promise is not just about material provision, it is emotional, spiritual, mental, and relational provision. I am filling the empty spaces in your heart, strengthening the areas you believed were weak, and rebuilding the parts of you that were broken by harsh words, old wounds, and painful experiences. Nothing you lived escaped my sovereignty. I tell you now, what was lacking will be supplied, what wounded you will be healed, and what harmed you will become wisdom. I am guiding you away from traps, distractions, and environments that drain your energy. I lead you toward still waters, not only physical places, but inner places where your soul finds rest, your mind finds silence, and your heart finds peace. I restore your stability, renew your clarity, and anchor your spirit so you may walk confidently into the life prepared for you. Child, hear something profound. A great shift is unfolding within you. Things that once paralyzed you will no longer hold power over your life. Words that once wounded you will no longer shape your identity. Situations that once filled you with insecurity will now be faced with courage and spiritual authority. This is happening because I am activating within you a strength that does not come from circumstances but from my spirit. You are no longer the person your past tried to define. You are the one I lifted, healed, restored, and sent. The world will witness such a transformation in you that many will fail to understand it. They will think it was luck or coincidence, but you will know it was my hand guiding you. You are entering a season in which doors will open effortlessly, connections will appear naturally, and opportunities will find you, not because you chased them, but because I honor those who remain faithful even in silence. My child, embrace this powerful truth. If God is for us, who can be against us? Romans chapter 8 verse 31. No attack of the enemy has authority over your life. No negative word will take root. No curse will prosper. I cover you now with my shield and clothe you in armor made of light. You will no longer live in fear of what might go wrong. You will live with the certainty of what has already gone right in the spiritual realm. While you fight, I fight beside you. While you move forward, I open the way. While you wait, I prepare the outcome. There is a grace upon you that intimidates darkness, and that is why the enemy tried to exhaust you, confuse you, and make you consider giving up. But you persevered. You remained faithful even when no one saw your effort. And because of this silent faithfulness, I will reward you publicly. This is the time of victory, not just any victory, but a victory that transforms your story, your identity, your home, your mindset, and your entire life. My beloved child, come closer to these words, for they are shaped for the deepest chambers of your heart. You were never created to wander far from the light, never designed to shrink into the shadows that the world tried to throw over your identity. You were shaped with intention, with brilliance, with a radiance that existed long before doubt, fear, and disappointment ever crossed your path. When life convinced you to believe you were small, I already saw in you the treasure I formed with my own eternal hands. I saw strength beneath your wounds, beauty beneath your scars, purpose beneath your confusion. I have always seen more in you than the world ever dared to acknowledge. Even when lies whispered that you were unworthy, I had already offered what was most precious to me to reveal your value. You were crafted with details you haven't yet discovered, talents buried under the weight of pain, gifts silenced by the noise of comparison, dreams suffocated by seasons that tried to break your spirit. Yet none of that erased the truth of who you are. You are not the reflection of your failures, nor the shadow of your fears. You are the image of a creator who intentionally breathed destiny into your existence. And if you pause now, truly pause, you will feel that gentle call, the call that has been echoing inside you long before you had words to describe it. There are many who say time can heal, yet only my presence restores. Many chase peace in temporary things, but the rest they find fades like dust in the wind. The peace I offer does not sway with circumstances, it remains standing even when everything else collapses. My peace is not a theory, it is an anchor. It steadies you when storms rage, it shelters you when the world shakes, it becomes the unshakable foundation beneath your trembling feet. I am not calling you to rituals, nor to a cage of religion, but to a return to the place where your heart breathes freely. I want to give back what fear stole from you, the joy that time erased, the confidence that wounds devoured, and the faith that disappointment tried to tear apart. I want to snap the chains of every memory that imprisoned you, silence every voice that accused you, and dismantle every lie that tried to define you. You are not what your past declared you to be. You are not the rejection you endured, nor the betrayal that wounded you, nor the mistake that haunts you in lonely nights. You are the one I call chosen. You are the one I call loved. You are the one I call restored. The enemy will always try to plant illusions of hopelessness, but I offer truth, truth that sets free, truth that lifts you, truth that awakens what seemed buried forever. And now I call you into a new beginning, a beginning where guilt no longer chains your steps, where masks are no longer needed, where fear no longer whispers that you are not enough. I call you into a beginning where your soul breathes again, where your spirit rises again, where your faith finds its wings. Do not measure yourself by the size of your flaws. Look instead at the magnitude of my love. Do not focus on the weight of your struggles. Look instead at the power of my resurrection within you. You are not defined by the times you fell, you are defined by the hand that lifts you each time. Nothing in your story has been wasted. Every tear watered seeds of growth. Every waiting season shaped wisdom. Every challenge carved depth into your being. Even the moments that shattered you were not moments of abandonment. They were sacred spaces where I was preparing something greater, something you could not yet perceive. And now, as you stand at the edge of a new chapter, I ask you only for sincerity, not perfection. I ask for your heart, not your strength. I ask for your willingness, not your performance. What you cannot carry, I will carry. What you cannot fix, I will restore. What you cannot see, I will reveal in due time. Time moves swiftly, my child, not to frighten you, but to awaken you. Opportunities dissolve like sand slipping between open fingers, and many wait for a tomorrow that never comes. But you still stand within the window of grace, the hour of mercy, the sacred space where transformation is possible. This moment is not random. This stirring in your spirit is not accidental. The longing you feel, the ache for meaning, the desire for restoration, all of it is evidence of my voice reaching toward you. And so I say this in love, surrender now. Not because you must fear the future, but because surrender is the pathway to life. When you release what burdens you, you make room for what heals you. When you lay down shame, you make space for forgiveness. When you let go of emptiness, you open the door for purpose. Nothing that is truly yours will be lost in surrender. What falls away is only what was hurting you or hindering you. I do not take to diminish you, I take to restore you. I do not remove to punish you, I remove to free you. The grace you seek is already stretching its arms toward you. The healing you crave is already moving in your direction. The renewal you long for is already prepared before you step into it. There is a fire I wish to ignite within you, not a fire of destruction, but a fire of purification. A fire that burns away despair, insecurity, guilt, and every fragment of identity that does not belong to the masterpiece you truly are. This fire refines like gold, it does not harm, it transforms. It awakens passion where numbness once lived. It restores clarity where confusion spread its fog. It gathers your scattered pieces and merges them into strength. Within this fire is the warmth of my presence, the guidance of my voice, the comfort of my embrace. Let this fire rise in you, child. Let it cleanse what has weighed you down. Let it illuminate paths you could not see before. Let it rekindle dreams you thought were too broken to salvage. Nothing in your life has been random. Even your darkest nights held seeds of revelation. Even your most silent cries reached me. Even your hidden wounds were seen by my eyes. I have never looked away from you, not even once. And now, as you stand before the crossroads of your destiny, I invite you to choose the path of life, narrow, yes, but filled with meaning, challenging, yes, but overflowing with purpose, painful at times, yes, but leading to victory. The world offers shortcuts that crumble, promises that glitter then fade, illusions that satisfy only for a moment. But the way I call you toward, the way of truth, the way of surrender, the way of the cross, is the only path that births genuine transformation. The cross was never a symbol of loss, it was the throne of redemption. It was there that love overcame death. It was there that chains were broken. It was there that hope was resurrected. And it is there, in that sacred surrender, that your own soul finds liberation. Lay down the weight you have carried alone for so long. Lay down the anxiety that tightens your chest, the guilt that stalks your thoughts, the sadness hiding behind your forced smile. I did not design you to live bent under burdens that crush your spirit. I created you to walk upright, radiant, confident, rooted in grace and strengthened by my presence. You think of yourself as small, but within you is the breath of eternity. Within you is the spark of creation. Within you is a strength beyond your understanding, waiting to be awakened. Believe even if doubt shakes your voice. Trust even if fear trembles in your chest. Faith is not the absence of uncertainty. Faith is the choice you make in the midst of uncertainty. If you trust in me, you will witness what your mind once labeled impossible. Doors will open where you only saw walls. Healing will reach places you thought were dead. Paths will appear where all you saw was wilderness. Miracles will unfold silently and steadily, shaping your journey in ways beyond imagination. You will discover that you were never walking alone. You will see that every delay had purpose, every setback carried instruction, every silence held preparation. And now, as these words settle within you, let the stillness speak louder than noise. Let the quiet remind you that I am near, not far, not distant, not unreachable. I am the breath in your lungs, the whisper in your soul, the light that never flickers. Your story is not finished. Your purpose is not lost. Your life is not beyond repair. This is your moment to rise again, not in your own strength, but in mine. And so, my beloved child, breathe. Receive this truth as a seed planted deep within you. You were never abandoned. You were never forgotten. You were never unworthy. You were always loved, always pursued, always seen. And now you are being called, not to fear, not to shame, not to regret, but to life, to healing, to restoration, to transformation. Step into the fullness prepared for you. Step into the identity I crafted for you. Step into the grace that has been waiting to embrace you. Everything you need has already been placed within your reach. All that remains is your surrender, your yes, your opening of the heart. I am here. I am with you. And I will never leave you. Let my peace settle upon your restless spirit like a mantle woven from eternity, not merely as a temporary pause, but as the foundation of a renewed life. Even when your eyes cannot pierce the fog of uncertainty, mine see the road ahead with perfect clarity. Every step you take with me becomes illuminated, even when your heart trembles, unsure of where it is heading. Faith is the courage to walk while your understanding is still forming, knowing that my hand guides what your spirit has not yet perceived. I am teaching you to feel the difference between walking alone and advancing under my presence. When I enter, the shadows withdraw. When I speak, chaos becomes silent. When I intervene, the impossible bows. I breathe life into the very places where you once saw only drought, and I restore meaning to what seemed permanently lost. Do not fear what is ahead, for I am already there preparing the way. Do not fear what is behind, for I have already redeemed it. Live now, in the fullness of my love, for my presence surrounds you in this very instant. My angels stand beside you, touching wounds the world cannot reach, old pains, buried memories, hidden fractures of the heart. The lightness you begin to feel is the evidence of my hand rebuilding what the storm tried to destroy. You are standing in a moment where the unseen becomes more real than what your eyes can grasp. My presence is lifting what once felt too heavy for you. The cracks within your soul are not signs of defeat but openings through which my restoration flows. What is coming will surpass what has been, for I transform pain into testimony and tears into songs of victory. Where despair once ruled, hope is rising like a dawn that refuses to be silenced. I chose you not because the world called you strong, but because your sincerity reached me even in your weakness. I saw in you not the possessions you lacked, but the desire to begin again. Today, I call you into the center of my will, the place where fear loses power and love speaks with authority. Here, the heart aligns with eternity, and the soul breathes freely again. This is the time. This is the calling. This is the moment for you to surrender, not as a symbolic gesture, but as a living, genuine decision that transforms the very structure of your existence. When you yield, I reshape your story. When you trust, I exceed your expectations. When you surrender, what seemed impossible becomes the ground where miracles take root. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, the one who opens seas, heals wounds, calls the dead to life, and turns broken sinners into vessels of glory. My love for you has never weakened, never dimmed, never withdrawn itself from your journey. It pursues you not to condemn, but to save, restore, and strengthen. Today is the day of choice. Today is the day of surrender. Today is the day heaven touches your life in ways you have not yet imagined. You think no one sees the wars you fight in silence, but heaven watches you with compassion. While the world notices only your stumbles, I see every time you gather the strength to rise again. Your silent nights echo in my throne room as the cries of a soul that refuses to give up. Your weary breaths draw my attention, for every moment of exhaustion in you stirs tenderness in me. There is a war inside you, an invisible conflict between what you know is right and the illusions the world calls freedom. But freedom without direction is only destruction disguised as choice. You were created for something greater than being pulled by temporary chains. A call from eternity resides inside you, and no distraction is strong enough to silence it. Many times you have tried to begin anew, promising change, hoping this time would be different. And when your strength failed and guilt tightened around your chest, you thought I had abandoned you. But hear me, I have never stopped believing in you. My love has never depended on your performance. It is not strengthened by your victories nor weakened by your mistakes. It is constant, unwavering, eternal. I have seen you smile while your heart bled. I have seen your knees tremble in secret. I have seen the fear hidden behind your tired eyes. None of it escaped me. Every attempt you made, every prayer whispered through tears, reached me like a sweet offering. I am not here to accuse you but to restore you. Judgment awaits only those who reject love, but grace remains open to all who seek strength in me. The invitation I extend to you is not passive or symbolic, it is active, present, transformative. It reshapes the fabric of your daily life. It reveals itself in the peace you feel upon waking, in sudden clarity amid confusion, in the unexpected courage to forgive what once imprisoned your heart. It is a living relationship that turns ordinary moments into holy encounters. It is the breath on your spirit when you thought you had none left. It is the quiet voice within you that whispers of hope when every outer circumstance insists on despair. It is the flame that refuses to go out, even in winds that threaten to strip you of everything. I am not distant from your struggle. I am inside it, rewriting its purpose, refining its weight, transforming its outcome. There are places within you that only I can reach, corners shaped by old wounds, shadows formed by forgotten disappointments, echoes of words spoken against you long ago. But my presence moves through those hidden corridors as a gentle light, revealing truth where lies once rooted themselves. You have believed for too long that your value depends on your performance, your stability, or your progress. Yet I have loved you even when you felt unable to love yourself. I have walked beside you through storms you thought you faced alone. I have whispered to your heart in moments when you believed no one heard you. You felt the heaviness ease not by accident, but because my hand was lifting it. You felt clarity come not because the world changed, but because my wisdom touched your mind. You felt strength rise in moments when you thought you would break, because I was breathing resilience into you. Everything inside you that longs for purpose is responding to my call. Everything within you that trembles is being steadied by my presence. Everything that once seemed shattered is being gathered, restored, and made new. The time has come for you to step into the life that has been waiting for you. Not a life defined by fear or haunted by regrets, but one anchored in grace, grounded in truth, and filled with purpose. The journey ahead will not require perfection. It will require surrender. It will require trust when understanding feels distant. It will require courage when the past tries to whisper its accusations. But you will not walk alone. Every step you take, I will take with you. Every decision you face, my wisdom will guide you. Every battle you fight, my strength will sustain you. What once overwhelmed you will no longer hold authority over your heart. What once broke you will become a testimony of resilience. What once silenced you will become the reason you lift your voice in gratitude. You are stepping into a future shaped not by what you fear, but by what I have promised. You have carried burdens that were never meant to be yours. You have walked through seasons that drained you, believing there was no purpose in the struggle. But nothing in your life has been wasted, not a tear, not a breath, not a battle. Everything you lived has prepared you for the transformation now taking place. I am aligning your heart with truth, anchoring your soul in peace, and restoring confidence where doubt once thrived. Your story is shifting from survival to awakening. Your identity is moving from wounded to restored, from searching to belonging. I am inviting you to release what no longer serves your spirit, to loosen your grip on the fears that restrain you, and to trust that I am making all things new within you. The world may not understand the depth of what I am doing in your life, but heaven celebrates every moment you choose me over the voices that once controlled your steps. And now, beloved, allow my presence to draw you into the fullness of what I have prepared. Do not resist the transformation unfolding within you. Do not fear the unfamiliar paths I will guide you through. For every path I lead you along is filled with purpose, provision, and protection. When confusion rises, my peace will speak. When doubt whispers, my truth will prevail. When loneliness attempts to settle, my love will surround you like fire that warms and shields. I am not calling you to a distant promise but to a present reality. You are mine, and I am with you. Let this truth anchor you. Let it carry you. Let it rebuild everything that life has tried to dismantle. For this is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of a life defined by grace, guided by my hand, and fueled by a love that will never let you go. There is a sacred stillness settling over your spirit, not as a brief pause in the chaos but as the foundation upon which your new beginning will rise. You have walked through seasons where silence felt like abandonment, where the ache of your soul seemed louder than your prayers, and where the world demanded that you carry yourself with a strength you did not feel. Yet here, in the sanctuary of this moment, you can let every mask fall. You do not need to pretend. You do not need to be strong for anyone. You do not need to hide the tremble in your voice. I see the battles that have shaped you, the memories that bruise your thoughts, the nights when your heart tried to hold together what was already breaking. And still, I call you beloved. I call you chosen. I call you mine. Every tear you thought was forgotten has returned to me as a silent plea, and each one has carried a message your lips could not form, the desire to be healed, to be restored, to be made whole. Do not fear the vulnerability rising within you now. This is not weakness, this is the doorway to transformation. What you release into my hands, I reshape. What you surrender, I redeem. What you allow me to touch, I turn into testimony. Let me enter the places you have long kept locked away, the rooms of your heart where pain still echoes, and watch how my presence becomes the light that breaks every shadow. As you continue to walk in this communion, you will begin to understand that divine guidance is not always revealed in thunder or miracles, but in the gentle clarity that settles inside you even when the path seems foggy. I do not require that your steps be perfect, only that they be willing. For I am the one who transforms willingness into courage, and courage into faith, and faith into a life renewed from the inside out. You have grown accustomed to hiding your wounds, to smiling when your soul is exhausted, to pretending that you are unshaken when storms rage inside you. But here, in my presence, authenticity is your offering, not performance. Cry if you must. Speak if you need. Fall if your knees are trembling. There is no condemnation here, only compassion. There are wounds so deep that only my touch can heal them, wounds from the past, old traumas wrapped in silence, memories that still burn even after years have passed. You have tried to erase them, but they remain because they are not meant to be erased, they are meant to be transformed. What today still feels like a wound will one day become a source of strength, a reminder of what my love can restore. Lift your eyes to the horizon. Yes, the world looks uncertain, shifting, fragile, but I do not change. I am the rock beneath your feet, the breath within your lungs, the voice that speaks hope into the chaos. You are not walking into the unknown alone. I go before you, illuminating the unseen path with a light no darkness can overcome. You have allowed the voices of the world to define you for far too long, forgetting that your identity is anchored not in human approval but in my hands. You were not created to walk with your head bowed or your spirit dimmed by fear. You were created to reflect the brilliance of my glory. And if you believe, even with trembling, that nothing is impossible, then let that belief become the seed of transformation within you. When the winds of life rise against you, remember that I am the one who commands the wind. When the waves threaten to pull you under, remember that I walk upon the waters. When you stand in the fire of trial, remember that I step into the flames with you. Not a single moment of your life has escaped my gaze. No tear has fallen unnoticed. No prayer has gone unheard. Miracles are already moving toward you, quiet, precise, unfolding with divine timing. Doors that were sealed will open, not when you demand, but when the moment is perfect. I do not promise a life without pain, but I promise victory over every pain. Sorrow may sow its seeds in your nights, but faith will make them bloom into strength. Loss may carve valleys into your heart, but trust will fill those valleys with rivers of renewal. What feels like desert now will become the road that leads you into promise. I hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If it touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who also needs to hear this word. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and a suggestion to strengthen your spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content like this. See you tomorrow.